I think we are live. Welcome. A very big welcome because you were probably expecting to see me last night. I was knackered. I'd had a morning of trying to catch cats and give them flea and worming treatment because George brought home a few unwelcome visitors with him. So after all of that, I was completely exhausted and I thought, hang on a minute. Tuesday, tomorrow, is when Pluto moves finally into Aquarius. So what better time to do the live than actually make tonight much more about Pluto's move into Aquarius than just the weekly astrology. Although I am going to touch on the weekly astrology because even today there is a very interesting transit. Now, for us over here in Europe and Australia, we are kind of in the fortunate position to be a little bit after the event. But hi, Parry. Hi, Jem. Hi, Andy. Janice. Wow, everyone's here. It's fantastic. Lovely to see you all. You hope my arms are not okay. Thanks, Jem. I'm waiting for the appointment with the arm and shoulder man on the 5th of December because very briefly, without going into deep depth, I have a severed tendon. I have 2 torn tendons and a torn bicep. And I've also got arthritis in the shoulder, which doesn't help things. So I have a very painful shoulder. And it's just, these are one of the wonderful joys of aging and of Pluto in Capricorn in my 6th house, coming up to be conjunct my Chiron, my wounded healer, my wound that will not heal in Aquarius. So I've got that for the next couple of years. But actually, what I want to say to you about all of these things is do not fear whatever your chart presents in terms of what can look like difficult transits with, say Pluto conjunct Chiron, for example, because there will be a lot of you out there who are around the same age as me, late 60s, 70, early 70s, who will have Chiron in the late degrees of Capricorn or in the early degrees of Aquarius. So you will all be experiencing Pluto conjunct Chiron. How does this affect one? Well, for me, as you know, it's been a build-up of energy culminating in the surgery that I had this year on my back. Capricorn, spine, the bones, the structure, because it's ruled by Saturn. So it is absolutely fascinating the way the astrology kind of plays out. Now, Pluto moving into Aquarius tomorrow, I think is super exciting, interesting. You see, remember, and I will come back to today's astrology, but Aquarius is about freedom. It's about really breaking free. It's about the community at large. It's about maybe breaking into or becoming smaller, large communities within the collective, moving away from the Capricornian ideas of central government and the kind of hierarchy, the top-down way of doing things, so that actually, as Pluto moves through Aquarius over the next 20 years, wow, I really hope I stick around for 20 years to see how that plays out, because I think if I'm doing this video in 20 years' time about Pluto's move into Pisces, then we are going to be emerging from a very different planet and an exciting planet. So I think Pluto's move into Aquarius is incredibly exciting, exhilarating, and should fill us with that kind of sense that something is in the air. Aquarius is an air sign. No, you didn't miss the live last night, Jem. I didn't do it. I was just too tired. And I suddenly thought, hang on a minute. I'm in charge of my own channel. I can choose to do what I like, because I'll tell you what Pluto has been doing for me is, in these final last minutes of Pluto being in the final stages of Capricorn, I have been or become far more empowered. Remember, Pluto is about power. Now, do any of you, or have any of you, noticed that you have perhaps been reclaiming the power that you may project onto others and thinking, hang on a minute, I'm in charge of my life. I'm in charge of my direction. I don't have to do what others suggest or dictate or whatever. And, you know, there's something I think about what we've been experiencing with the structure of Capricorn over the last 18 years or so, which it's been a little bit as if we were all back at school. You know, that kind of sense of being in the classroom and lining up in a definite order to leave the classroom and asking permission. May I do this? Please, may I go to the bathroom? Please, I can't see what you've just written on the board. All of these kind of things. There's been a lot of kind of permission needing or requesting with Pluto in Capricorn. And it is starting to crumble, because everything that builds up must eventually fall. Everything that rises eventually falls. You know, we have a process of life, living, you know, birth, life, living, and death, or how I would prefer to see it, the transition from the physical back into the spiritual. So that just seeing what you've written, Christine, your belief that you can handle what comes, especially after the very difficult several months. What goes up must come down. That's right, Jem. So there is very much, I think, this window of opportunity, but almost between today and tomorrow, to really become aware of, where do I need to reclaim my power? Where have I been allowing it to be dissolved, to be just overlooked, overpowered? So with Pluto at this final minute, you see, today, on the 18th of November, Pluto is at 29 degrees of Capricorn and 58 minutes of arc. That means it's 2 minutes away from 0000 of Aquarius. I know we've had a taste of it over last year, of Pluto just dipping its toes into Aquarius. But now there's no turning back. Now we are going forward. Now we really are breaking into new territory. We are going forward into the most probably exciting part of the 21st century. And for all of us, whatever age or generation we are in, it will be exciting and dramatic and wonderful in different ways. So I really am super excited about this, but I want to talk just briefly about what's happening today because, as I said, for most of us over here in Europe and the Far East, we've had this energy already. But Mercury, the planet of communication, the planet of thought that rules Gemini, is in the sign of Sagittarius. Now, Sagittarius is kind of like, it doesn't give an SH1T about anything because, it's like, whatever, let's just have fun. Let's party. That is the kind of sort of mood of Sagittarius. It wants to play, wants to have fun, it wants to just enjoy life. And why not? We haven't had enough of that. And it's a fire sign. So my God, when Sagittarius parties, it parties. It's got Mercury there. Mercury is trying to say, oh, just a minute though, because I thought of something. I thought of something we really ought to pay attention to before we get into that fun bit. And Jupiter is in opposition today in Gemini. And Jupiter, of course, is now retrograde. Now, Jupiter, of course, rules Sagittarius. So you've got Mercury. All right, let's have Mercury here. Mercury in Gemini, the sign opposite, Mercury that rules Gemini in Sagittarius, opposite Jupiter in Gemini, and that's opposite the sign it rules, Sagittarius. So they're both in what is known as their fall. They are weakened by the energy of their opposite sign. And here they are meeting with this kind of tension, so that Mercury comes up with these wonderful ideas, but is not quite sure whether to follow through on them or whether to actually say anything about them. And Jupiter's going, well, hey, why not? Let's just do it, rather than thinking it through. So for all of you guys over there in the United States and beyond in the Pacific region, just be aware of that today, that we are in the energy of this opposition of Mercury Jupiter, so that we need to just be mindful that we don't get overheated in debates and discussions, because the power of Jupiter retrograde could make us, or could make Mercury keep going back over old ground and saying, yeah, but you said, and why aren't you saying it now? You said it as if you meant it, and all that kind of information. And I did see, Maria, that I think you mentioned something, but I think the message has gone. But this Pluto in Capricorn has been incredibly tough for all of us, depending on the area of your chart, which represents the area of your life that Capricorn is in your particular chart. So, I can run through the houses very quickly, so if you have Pluto in Aries, then in Capricorn, if it's in your first house, it's very much about you and the transformation of yourself. If Pluto is in your second house, it's about your self-worth, your buildings, your economy, how you make your money, your accruement, luxuries. The third house is about communication. The fourth house, home, family, ancestry. If you've had Pluto in Capricorn moving through your fourth house, you may well have moved house over the last 18 years. Not to say that nobody else has moved house. Of course we have. But there will have been some kind of feeling of being compelled to move by Pluto moving through the fourth house. or compelled to make changes within family structures. So, okay, Maria, you said Pluto in Capricorn turned your life upside down, 8th and 9th house. Now with your moon in Aquarius, 10th house, you feel the earth move under your feet in a very good way. It will. Oh my goodness, Maria, that is going to be amazing for you. And remember, the moon also represents the people, and Aquarius is about the community at large. So it could be that the work you're doing is going to take you out there, and there'll be much more connection with groups of people. So, and what's Lola here saying? You have a thought. As a sun sign in Aquarius, to an extent, we have seen some of this. This is its third and final entry into Pluto. That's right. Co-ruled by Saturn. We have lived some of Capricorn that we went through some of the yes, that's right. That's right. And yes, good point that Saturn is actually a co-ruler of Aquarius. So it's interesting that Saturn brings in that element of yes, slow down, Aquarius. Don't get too carried away with all these wonderful, bright ideas. Let's kind of get a little bit of structure into it. But remember, Pluto moves very slowly. It's going to be in Aquarius till 2044. That's a long time. Is that right? Yes, 2044. Where are we now? 2024, 2044. So a long time. If Pluto didn't go through your fourth, would be a much less better version of yourself. That's interesting, Andy. The transformation has been wild, hard, but necessary. And it's interesting, Andy, thinking of the recent surgery you've had, because fourth house Cancer, mother, the feminine, body, breasts, all of that kind of thing. Very interesting energy that you've had in your fourth house. Jem, your fourth house is opposite where Pluto is, which is in your 10th, and moving is a big feeling you have, career, home, and everything. Yes, that will certainly feel, I think, Jem, as if that is around a lot for you, even just in the next 24 hours, because I think this really is a trigger point. When if we just move on, I'm going to move on to tomorrow to get the chart up for when Pluto actually moves into Aquarius, to see where it is. So yeah, Pluto moves into Aquarius GMT at 2041. So at 21 minutes, at 41 minutes to 9. And so you need to take 6 hours off for the East Coast, and then 7, 8, 9, etc. So it's moving in tomorrow night. But all tomorrow, I think it's almost going to be like just... Yes, Jem. Yeah. Oh, good. You're confirming, because I hadn't seen your email confirming. So that's great. So the arrangement we made, fantastic. Hi, Susanna Secret. I love your name. I think it's just awesome. I hope you're well. And let's see what else anyone else is saying. Yes, let's stand in our power, which is what Pluto is all about. Empowerment. Totally. So tomorrow, let's just have a think about this. Pluto is going to be in Aquarius for 20 years. But we need to, again, remind ourselves of the energy of Aquarius. Aquarius is fixed. So in some ways, Aquarius can come out as stubborn. But Pluto rules Scorpio. So it's used to fixed energy, because Scorpio, even though it's a water sign, is also fixed. And Aquarius is an air sign. So you've got this kind of different energy melding in together, because you still have to remember that the eighth house, which Scorpio rules, that Pluto rules, will still have an impact, so that one of the perhaps more general planetary aspects we may experience with Pluto in Aquarius is a significant change in how the financial and economic system of the planet works. So, for example, Aquarius is technology. So I think it's inevitable that everything to do with the financial world, economy, will go digital. And I know there are huge sections of society that do not want us to lose cash. And I absolutely understand why not. But cash belongs to the past and Capricorn. And we cannot stop the flow of the river. Yes, Parry, love is the most important part of our lives. Absolutely. And cash is an energy exchange symbol. And these symbols are going to be changing with Pluto's move into Aquarius. Pluto is going to transform the whole of our monetary system over the next 20 years. Whether we like it or not, I really do believe it's going to happen. And there'll be more of these digital currencies, you know, Bitcoin and this kind of thing. I don't know much about it, so I'm absolutely certainly not going to talk about it. But there are some very good financial astrologers out there that if you want to look up financial astrology on YouTube, there's one lady, and I can't remember her name, but she's just done an interview on the Astrology Hub where they do some beautiful podcasts. And she's very interesting, good sound astrologer, the lady that was interviewed on the Astrology Hub. Oh, thank you. Thank you, Katie. Yeah, I had a little sit down this afternoon and just rested because everything has got manic and frantic. But I think it's interesting to look at the event chart for universal time for the moment Pluto moves into Aquarius, because the rising sign, the ascendant, is Cancer. Cancer is about home and family and our roots and our ancestry, where we come from. It's like our DNA. And Hai Punam and the moon rules Cancer, and the moon tomorrow is in the sign of Cancer. And remember the sign opposite Cancer. Remember, Cancer is water, cardinal, so it's very proactive. So this is a good kind of chart to symbolize the move of Pluto into Aquarius. So Cancer is cardinal, it's proactive, and it's opposite Capricorn. Where's Pluto been for the last 18 years? Capricorn. So there's something about the need to find the balance and harmony within what we've learned, the tough lessons some of us might have learned through the kind of process of Pluto's move through Capricorn. Not to just go, oh, thank God that's over. Because if we do that, we kind of dismiss all the wonderful learning opportunities that came up for us through the passage of Pluto through Capricorn. Yes, it's been tough. It's been tough for the planet. It's been tough on individual levels. It's been hard work. As I say, when I went, at the beginning, it's been like being at school. It's been like being in junior school. And then as we sort of progressed into the second half of Capricorn, we were in senior school. Well, now we're in university, but we're in the University of Metaphysics. As soon as Pluto moves into Aquarius, we've left school. We are in the University of the Esoteric and Metaphysics. We are in the University of deep, great, very powerful, innovative, inventive thought. And within all of that, we have freedom of speech, and we have a platform within a community through the power of Pluto in Aquarius to talk, to communicate how we feel about, whether it's politics, religion, life, science, the world. All of these things, these areas of our life are going to be so to the fore with Pluto's move into Aquarius. And let's not forget that, you know, Pluto also is very much about artificial intelligence. And we've seen certainly a kind of transition already into all of our devices using artificial intelligence in one degree or another. And I'd like to say yet again, do not resist the flow of the river. We cannot go backwards. That is not the way we are facing. Time will keep moving us forward. The river will keep moving us forward. And we have to embrace it and be its master and not allow it to master us or cause us fear. I think that's terribly important, because I do feel that a lot of people get quite, hang on, someone's saying Pluto transiting the 10th conjunct North Node. Big changes in career, big changes, your destiny. Your destiny has the opportunity for fulfillment to actually become and be who you are meant to be. That is how I would interpret that. 87 Givenchy. Lovely perfume, Givenchy. So coming back to Pluto in Aquarius and artificial intelligence, that then takes us on the next stage. We have to embrace it. And it's difficult. It's difficult because when you get to one's kind of senior years, as I am, you know, I struggle at times with the technology because it keeps, you know, apps keep changing and programs keep changing, and I find YouTube keeps changing, and I have to quickly kind of get up to speed again with how these things work. And please let me know in the comments how the sound is, because I've gone back to using the laptop because it didn't seem to make any difference to the sound with the crackling and the static, whether I used my mobile or the laptop. So I've gone back to the laptop because it's just a little bit easier. Mykonos, Pluto is in your sign, so fabulous. You're in for a great 20 years. Sound is good. Thank you very much. Excellent. I think also because I'm actually doing this live stream on a Monday night, and I'll tell you why. Because on a Sunday night, the internet traffic at that time of evening here in Malta and Gozo is going to be much heavier. And I suspect that the frequency gets diluted. And so tonight being Monday, fingers crossed, I've got more access to the frequency that I want. While we're on the word of frequencies, this is another aspect of Pluto in Aquarius. Now, as you know, I keep teasing about my new channel, which is called Channeling with Penny and Sarah. And thank you to all of you who have subscribed already, not even knowing what we're going to be doing. We're not quite sure what we're going to be doing either, but maybe it's a lesson in how to get subscribers without putting any content on your YouTube channel. But anyway, that aside, channeling is something that I think we all do. And through the channel, or through the channel that we are using to discuss and use channeling to, for you to experience us channeling the non-physical entities that we have experience with. Hopefully you will see how easy it is for all of us to connect with these other frequencies of non-physical entities who are just waiting patiently in the wings. They're just here. They're just here. We just can't see them, but they're here. And they have so much they want to teach us about life, about physical life, about the transition from a physical body into a spiritual body or back into a spiritual body. And so that is going to be something in the nature of what we will hope to explore on our channel. The other interesting thing with Sarah Sands-Smith, who is a qualified hypnotherapist and past life regression therapist, all her details are now up on that channel. If any of you are interested in booking with her for past life regression, she's very good. And I'm not just saying that, I wouldn't start a channel with her if she wasn't very good. But the non-physical entity that she channels, and I'm going to leave it for her to introduce that energy, is incredibly prophetic. And I am stunned by the accuracy of the prophecy that this non-physical entity brings through Sarah. Now, why I'm introducing it now is because I think there is a need for all of us to recognize that we are all capable of tuning into these other frequencies, to recognize that we all have access to every area of a timeline and to all the timelines that lie out before us, so that we can choose to just drop in as if it's a program on a computer. You can just drop into a future part and pick up the energy of it to see, is this the timeline that I need to be going down? Is this what I should be looking at? So these are the kind of things that we're going to be talking about and looking at. And we will get a video up soon, but it might not be for a couple of weeks or so, because listen, how are all of you? Are you busy? Because my feet aren't touching the ground and it's like there just aren't enough hours in the day. That's what I'm experiencing. Yes, Parry, change is inevitable and constantly happening. Flexibility, creativity is essential. Exactly, which is interesting that Pluto is moving into a fixed sign, and Pluto is a fixed planet. But Pluto is a feminine energy, and Aquarius is a masculine energy, which in turn is interesting. And as the days and the weeks go past, I will talk much more about Pluto's entry into Aquarius and how it will be affecting the planet. Janice, you're saying it's about to speed up. Susan Fabian, you're saying you're super busy. And Andy, you're asking Poonam what's her rising sign. You have to go back and ask Penny. I'll have a look, honey. I'll see if I can just find it and have a quick look. But you know, the main focus of the energy this week, which I think is going to override all the other aspects, and there's not a huge amount of other energy going on, thank goodness. Apart from on the 21st, we have the sun will move into Sagittarius. And as I was saying earlier, Sagittarius just wants to party, wants to have fun. It's like girls just want to have fun. And so do boys. So do we all. Doesn't matter what sex we are. We all want to have fun. And I think everything has been so super serious, especially for you in the States, because you've been going through such a difficult time with your election and the lead up to that. And Katie, you're looking to see how Pluto moving into your 10th house. Well, then you must have Pluto on your midheaven, which means there are huge changes in your public image and your career direction. Even changing career direction could be a big part of that energy. So let me see if I can find Poonam in here and tell you, Poonam, because I've got your chart somewhere, what your rising sign is. I just can't remember. And I'm nearly there. Here we go. Okay, Poonam, you're Cancer. In Los Angeles, you're Cancer. However, in the place of your birth, you were Leo. So you're a Leo ascendant at birth, Poonam, and you're a Cancer ascendant where you're living in Los Angeles. So there we go. Little bit of information about that. So let me just see how you are getting on in the chat. Yeah, good. Susan, exhausting from all of that already. Yeah, next holidays. And I think for the rest of the year, there is a very much a feeling that we just need to, through the Sagittarius season, just kind of take a step back. And it's interesting that the Biden administration made that decision, was it yesterday or the day before, for Ukraine and using US weapons in the parts of Ukraine that are currently occupied by Russian troops. And I think it's important to make sure we're aware of that boundary. It is not willy-nilly sending rockets or missiles deep into Russia. It's actually into the Russian-held Ukrainian territory. And I think that's important to just keep that in mind. Now, what that's about and what the plan is, we will just have to sit back and watch this unfold. But the energy for when Pluto moves into Aquarius, Pluto is still, of course, widely in this opposition to Mars. And remember, if you remember the energy around the 1st, 2nd, 3rd, 4th, and 5th of November, leading up to the election, we had that Pluto-Mars opposition. But Pluto was in Capricorn and Mars was in Cancer. And it was tough energy. It was really kind of like we wanted to go. We were all getting very heated and hot under the collar. And Mars was so restricted in the sign of Cancer, so held back and almost forced to go back under a rock in that Cancer crab. And so, Pluto now in Aquarius from tomorrow night European time, and in the sort of mid-morning for you, or early hours of the morning for you in the United States, opposite Mars in Leo. And we get the next exact hit, because Mars is going to have a retrograde, remember. So Mars will go retrograde in Leo and then back into Cancer. But by the 3rd of January, we will have a Pluto-Mars opposition. Now, this is the second kind of hit. And so events, things in your own life, in your personal life that came up around the beginning of November could come to the fore again. So the beginning of the year of 2025 could be a little bit dicey, a little bit extraordinary. And the resolution won't come till April, whatever that means, however that unfolds. I'm in the process of doing all the preparation work for the videos I'm going to do. 13 videos. One is the overview for 2025. And the other 12 will be each individual zodiac sign and how the energy of 2025 is going to affect you individually. So over the next 2 to 3 weeks, I'm going to be recording those videos. It's taken me far longer than I expected to do just the preparation. There is so much energy to kind of contain for next year, because there's so much, or the energy of these outer planets, they're all at the anaretic degrees of various signs, like Pluto at the beginning of Aquarius. Saturn is going to be at the end of Pisces. Neptune is going to be at the end of Pisces and then into Aries. And then Saturn will be at the beginning of Aries. And so you've got this, and Uranus is going to be flirting with Gemini, and Jupiter flirting with Cancer. So we have very intense energy next year in various pockets. So it's almost like if we did a graph for next year, it's going like this, so that we get, we can relax for a bit. And then, here we go again. What's happening now? But next year is a preparation year. See it as it is and go with the flow of the river. And it's preparing us for what is to come in 2026 and in 2027. And it's exciting. I think it's super exciting. It could be exhausting at times. I think it's so important to pace ourselves. And really what I'm saying now belongs in my overview for 2025. So I think I'll pull the brakes on that, because I need to keep that in my 2025 overview. But this week, the sun moves into Sagittarius, so we will feel a shift in energy. And I think we're all going to be starting to think, can we just relax? Can we just go out somewhere and have a drink and relax, have a meal, see some friends, laugh? We need laughter. We need fun. If you want to have a good laugh, go and see the video I did with Brandon last Friday. I mean, I don't know what it is about him and I mean, I know some of you absolutely hate him, but he's cool with that. He's really cool with that. I love him to bits because he's the sort of person you can love and hate all at once. But we did the video about the full moon in Taurus and how it fitted in with the chart of Donald Trump. And as far as we know, there have not been any major events that have affected him, but it does not mean that there is not energy going on behind the scene. Because remember, these energies do not just take place on the day involved. I think he has to watch out for what's going on round about the beginning of the new year. But we'll come to that another time. But go back and have a look at the video I did with Brandon. It's on my channel. It's just, I think we call it World, I don't know, Election World Astrology or something. And it's under my live streams, and it's also on Brandon's channel. So it's streamed on both. So you can pick and choose and be as rude as you like about me and Brandon, because We don't mind. Water off a duck's back now, but it is quite funny if you want to laugh. So it was fun. Thank you. We enjoyed it. So as we move towards the end of the week, the other energy that we've got, and let me go back to my notes. Let me see. Yes, so Thursday the sun moves into Sagittarius, and really after that, I think there is some energy that I just wanted to mention on Friday, Saturday. Let me have a look at the 22nd. 22nd, the moon moves into Virgo. Oh, here we are. Yeah. Venus sextile Saturn on the 22nd, which I think is Friday, isn't it? So thank you, Poonam. Do you know, we need to keep things light and amusing. Life's too serious. We need to have fun. I'm already getting into the Sagittarius energy of it all. We need to have fun. So this energy on Friday, the 22nd, we have Saturn in Pisces, now direct at 12 degrees, and it's making a lovely harmonious sextile to Venus in Capricorn. Now, it's interesting because Saturn, of course, rules Capricorn. Venus isn't that comfortable in Capricorn. It's too cold and austere for luxuriating Venus. She wants, the sort of the bathing in arse's milk and the kind of, sitting in a warm, steaming bath and the candles around the whereas Saturn is saying he wants to blow them all out and say, we've got to save electricity. That's too, you've got that water too hot. You shouldn't be having baths. You should be having showers. But it's a sextile. So I think on Friday in general, there's a little softening of that kind of Pisces Saturn energy, which is really, I think, quite nice. So it builds up the energy well for the weekend. And that day also, the moon in Leo is actually squaring Uranus in Taurus, which is still retrograde and still conjunct Algol. So we may hear something on a more somber note that is a little bit shocking, and that could be to do with people. Let's just say groups of people, and it could be somebody or people in the public eye that we hear something about. And the one thing I haven't mentioned yet before I go on to our word of, I think, Pluto in Aquarius, the one thing I haven't mentioned is about ET, aliens. There is every probability that over the next 20 years, there will be some kind of disclosure that alien life exists. I mean, I think we all know, quite frankly, that, of course, alien life has to exist. The arrogance and the narcissism of us all to think we are the only life in the universe. Of course, we're not. The universe itself is alive. It's just what form is alien life in? That's what's super interesting, because we don't know. It's not necessarily going to be somebody that looks like us or some kind of physical entity. So, there is going to be the evidence of alien, even if it just starts off as kind of amoeba and kind of, I'm just remembering that word from school, spirogyla or spiro, I don't know, something, and sort of all these squiggly things that live in water. Because remember, water is the consciousness of the universe. And so where there is water, there is life. So anywhere that has water will have some form of life. And I think it's not just that, but I think that Pluto moving through Aquarius is preparing us, is transforming us to prepare ourselves to get to accept that there are intelligent forms of life out there. And I don't know about you, but I think that's super exciting. And I don't see it as a particular problem. Maybe I'm naive. I have no idea. I don't know. But I do think that it is something that is going to become more public, because I think that behind the scenes, and we've all seen the videos on YouTube, we've all seen everything about, potential disclosure. And if President or President-elect Trump could come up with one thing, it would be, as Brandon has said, tell us the truth. Let us know that there is contact with, beings from other star systems, that we are doing reverse technology, that we have alien craft. So it is, I think, going to be super exciting. And, I'm sure he will never watch my videos, but if you are Donald, whether you like to be Don or Donald, please tell us. We want to know. And we're ready for it. So please tell us. Now, I'm going to give you the phrase of the week ahead, but I think it should be almost the phrase of the next 20 years. And it's an interesting one because it's new beginnings. Now, if you think about it, I'm taking us all the way back to the beginning, to Genesis. Because Genesis, the first verse of the first chapter of Genesis is, "In the beginning was the Word, and the Word was God." Now, Florence Scovel Shinn, who wrote The Game of Life and How to Play It, talks very much about the power and the vibration of the words we choose to use. So first of all, I want to suggest to you that over the next 20 years, starting now, you think about the words you use, because it's as if we have to retrain the neural pathways in our brains to use words of positive and stronger vibrations, of frequencies that encourage growth, personal empowerment, and transformation. So it's all there in that first line from Genesis. In the beginning was the Word, and the Word was God. Now, how Florence Scovel Shinn describes it is you have to find the word that represents for you that divine, universal, intelligent energy. For many of you, it will be the word God. But some of you may have bad experiences of religion, whatever story or religion that is. And this is about actually finding the word that resonates for you, so that you might call him Jim. Jim upstairs, he's got my back. This is what I mean. You have to find, it might be your guardian angel. It might be someone who's in spirit, your mother, your father. Whatever word resonates on a frequency with you that says, this word means that divine intelligence, is the word you need to keep tuning into, to know that you are connected to the consciousness of the entire universe, that you are just one little cell, one atom of this massive, divine, universal brain. And that all we have to do is tune in to the right frequency to actually kind of say, I need you today. Have you got my back? And that we're not on our own. We're not on our own. We really are not on our own. You know, in the beginning was the Word, and the Word was God. But then we got Adam and we got Eve. Well, Lilith got in there as well, but we're not talking about her today. Lovely, Parry. You use the term universe. That's perfect. I want to see what Tracy Studio has said. I kind of see us on the planet as aliens. We were all born on a planet in a vast universe. We are one of the many species in this amazing universe. Absolutely. I really agree with that. Still, you believe that very much words have a vibration and energies. Listen, if we just woke up every day and said, peace, peace, love, love, peace, harmony, you know, not only does it go out there into the universe, but it reprograms the wiring in our own brains. And I think this age of Aquarius is about us having far more control and relearning, reteaching our brains how to think in connection with this higher divine source of intelligence. So as I start to wind this particular talk down, I found some quotes that represent new beginnings because I think they do help. So the new beginning quotes I found, one of course is from the very well-known poet T.S. Eliot. Every moment is a fresh beginning. Plato said the most important part of the work is the beginning. Josiah Martin said, the magic in new beginnings is truly the most powerful of them all. It reminds me, and I was talking to a client today about, I think it was Michelangelo who said when a little boy came up to him and saw him chipping away at a big, huge piece of marble, he said, "What are you doing?" And Michelangelo said, if I've got the right sculptor, "There's an angel inside this stone. I have to set her free." And that's something about our new beginnings. We have to set the angel free that's within us. We have to know and have faith that there is an angel deep within us. And, you know, Richie Norton here said, every sunset is an opportunity to reset. Every sunrise begins with new eyes. And nothing in the universe can stop you from letting go and starting over. And George Eliot said, it's never too late to be what you might have been. I am a living example of this. I started this YouTube channel when I was 95. No, 65. I had my numbers the wrong way around. When I was 65 in 2020. So it's never too late. Never. And my God, do I have plans for the future. And over time, you will see what grows and what develops. So let's see what other, what else we have. I mean, Martin Luther King Jr. said, take the first step in faith. You don't have to see the whole staircase. Just take the first step. You know, I meet a lot of people, a lot of clients who are struggling so much by worrying about the future and not staying in the present. Remember, we don't we only have the present. We only have the present moment. Be in it. Be here now. Do not get caught into this worrying about the future. It just takes away the joy of the present. Meister Eckhart said, and suddenly you just know it's time to start something new, and you have to trust the magic of new beginnings. And Lao Tzu said, new beginnings are often disguised as painful endings. And finally, John Galsworthy said, you know what? Beginnings are always messy. But you know, that's a kind of truth. And it's okay. Let me just have a look at your chat before I bring this to a close. And yes, Cosmic BL, take a leap of faith. Jem, are you sitting comfortably? Then I'll begin. Julia Lang, yes. Parry, the future is a mystery. Tracy, if you just watch your step, eyes forward, you will not be overwhelmed by the mountain you are climbing. How very true. Parry, the jubilation and celebration of being. Liz, the Iron Maiden, says it makes sense. Thank you. So, yes, Liz, I'm just seeing you're finding this period hard. It is difficult. You know, M. Scott Peck, the psychiatrist, psychotherapist, said, life is difficult. This is a great truth. And it's only once we accept that life is difficult that it ceases to become so difficult. And on that note, I will bring things to a close. And thank you so much for joining me today. And as I say, apologies I didn't come on live last night. I was just, there's no point doing it when I'm tired. You'd have just got this blurb coming out of me. No point. Iron Maiden, you've got Aquarius, Sun, Mercury, Venus. Wow, you're going to have an interesting 20 years. Very much so. Remember, everyone, if any of you would like to book a session, I'm taking bookings now from the beginning of 2025. All the 2024 slots are full. And just go to my website. I've actually closed my booking system because it was driving me mad. And long story short, the easiest way for me is to have a little bit more control over what's happening. So I'm taking back my power and taking back my control, even if it gives me a little bit more work in terms of having to organize sessions, not in terms of how many clients. So email me at penny@pennydix.com. The website is pennydix.com. And I will reply, give me your time zone. Remember, let me know what time zone you're in. I live in Central Europe, so I am 6 hours ahead of Eastern time. And so the session time I have for people in America is my 4 p.m. in the afternoon. So I don't have many of those. So if you want one of those in January or February or March, let me know. Secondly, is there a secondly? Well, I will be back on next Sunday to give you a live for the week ahead, the weekly forecast. And oh, that's it. I wanted to say thank you so much to all of you who have recently subscribed to this channel, because the video I did with Brandon last Friday created a little bit of energy, which was wonderful. And a lot of you have migrated or cross-pollinated from his channel to mine. And hopefully many of you will cross-pollinate and go to Brandon's channel. He's not bad, you know. He's a great guy. You know, I like him. I wouldn't work with him if I didn't like him. And we have fun and we have a laugh. And you know what's good is we spark off each other. And I will often play devil's advocate to him, which is important. So you get what you get with us. Astrobites, thank you for reminding me, Maria. I will restart them in January, but for now, I've just got to get the 2025 Zodiac videos done. So that's what I'm going to be concentrating on, and the new moon, the full moon, and obviously the month ahead live and the weekly lives week ahead. But then from January, I'll start the Astrobites, but I think I can only really seriously manage 2 a week. So I'll probably do them on a Tuesday and a Friday or something. And it'll just be an Astrobite. And they're fun. I love doing them, and I know you enjoyed doing them, but I really was just exhausting myself by trying to do one a day. So I'm oh, Liz the Iron Maiden, you're new here. Well, it's wonderful. Yep, Poonam, he is authentic. No BS, absolutely. And some people like it, some people don't. Parry, take time to enjoy the many different blessings that exist right now with appreciation, gratitude for your life and your joy. And, you know, it is lovely to see all of you. Thank you, Katie. You're recommending my site and videos. Bless you. Thank you so much. And please remember to like, comment, subscribe, share. Share in WhatsApp, share on Facebook, share in, I don't know, wherever else, email. Because by sharing, it kind of, you get, you grow the channel. And, we've got a great community here, and it would be nice to build it because we meet such interesting people. So welcome to any of you tonight who are new, and it's lovely to have you here. And just a quick update on Pussycat George Chin, Mr. George Chin. I think he's got ringworm. So I wormed them all this weekend, yesterday morning. And so he's coming to the vet with me on, well, not me, I don't have to go to the vet. No, he has to go to the vet, but I'm taking him on Wednesday. And Sarah's going to help me. We're going to try and take 2 of my cats on Wednesday and just get them their checkups, vaccinations and everything. But he's just lovely, and he isn't taking any BS from my lovely Iggy Ginger Fluff Ball, who was terrorizing him. Yes, it happens between cats. God, they can be horrible to each other. It's just jealousy. It's just good old-fashioned jealousy. Now I'm wittering. So now it is time to end the live stream and say, and yes, he's home still. And my God, oh, I'm so grateful. I can't tell you how happy I am. I really am super happy to have him back. And at night, he's been going to sleep, holding my arm. He wraps himself round my arm, and I can't move. So I'm kind of like this, lying in bed. And he's just purring and holding my arm. And I don't think he ever wants to go away again, and he's not going to. So there we go. So I wish you a wonderful 20 years of Pluto in Aquarius. It's a momentous occasion. Just quickly, the last time we had the French Revolution and the American Civil War. What does that tell you? There's an interesting note to finish on. So on that, yes, I am ever so happy. Thank you, Poonam. I missed my boy so much. I really missed him. But I really am going, and he's in good arms. Thank you, Cosmic BL. Yes, unbelievable persistency still, very much. And yes, it was a miracle. Hello, Liz, the Iron Maiden. Yes, it was. It's just been lovely. I'm super happy, and I feel very positive and confident about the future. And you know what? When you feel positive and confident about the future, there's no reason why the future can't be positive and full of confidence. Jem, I will see you Thursday at whatever time it was we said we were doing it. And any others of you that I have sessions booked with, I will see you when our sessions are booked. And once again, thank you for your support, your loyalty, and your love. And you're just all friggin' awesome. Love you loads. Bye for now. Bye, guys.